I personally feel like we just started there. Like we started it 15 minutes ago. Like 10 minutes ago.
I don't know if KDot wants to have that last section.
Like we could take that part out and then do it like it'd be a long cold open. Like take that it'd be a long cold open.
I'm just saying.
How I feel. Depends on how I feel.
Holy ice.
Because guess what I did today?
What?
Met up with the girlfriend, the ex-girlfriend and girlfriend.
God bless you for
the girlfriend again.
Hey, yeah, she is
I'm happy
the
for y'all.
girlfriend.
God bless you for just waffling. You should open an IHOP.
I'm on a teacup ride. It's not a fun roller coaster. I'm on a teacup.
So I wish you the best and I hope you're happy. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Thank you. And you know what? I am still happy. And I let her know today that I'm still going to do all the things that I want to do. So this I'm still working out every fucking day. Still doing better by drinking my water. I did get my weighted jump rope. Although the basement's not tall enough for it. So I got to move to go do the weighted jump rope.
You gotta go outside.
I do it in my garage, but it's barely big enough for it. Like it's barely like.
I can pull it off here if I'm going, but I'm like, all right, I'm not really getting a workout what I'm doing. So it's like, I gotta go outside.
Yeah.
I mean, I ain't really getting that far off the ground, man.
Congrats on your health journey, though.
Journey. I'm also studying to get a bunch of certs, getting some IT certs.
I was just questioning, like, when you said, like, yeah, I'm doing everything that I'm going to do. And I was like, all right, what does that mean?
Oh,
jumping rope.
Yeah.
Jumping ropes, getting the Peloton as soon as
I thought you meant like seeing other people.
No, I mean, I fielded some calls, but beyond, I didn't act on anything. And I also knew that, like, I'm a serial monogamous as much as I want to do other things sometimes. I end up falling.
It's way easier.
I mean, I will say, if I'm talking about lifestyle, the polyamory jump, I do kind of miss that as just a lifestyle choice.
No, that's too many people. I'm surprised I like talking to three of you because usually three people.
What do you mean by you?
What do you mean by you? Oh, you people? You know exactly what the fuck
you three darkies.
All right, so let's start with the playoff updates. We kind of discussed Harden a little bit earlier. I don't know if you're going to see that or not. If you do, cool. If not, what the fuck ever.
If you don't, KDot realize he said too many incriminating things.
Yeah, you sure the fuck did.
And he had to go back.
You letting that chopper fly.
I want to be that guy on the podcast. I want to be that. I got to let it go, right?
Anyway, Jimmy,
lesbian ice princess.
Yeah, but
the real playoff, Jimmy.
See what you did.
I see what James Harden's about, and I formally apologize for James. He is on the AD EKG plan, but he's shown up more than I thought he would. I didn't know he still had it in his locker. He obviously does. So I come on here to apologize.
He's either in his bag or he left his bag at home. But for 2 of the 4 games this series, and if you do the math, that should be enough to get you through this round. I'm still sticking with my C's pick, but it's 42 points, 6 of 9 from 3. It's
the last second 3 to give him the lead.
Well, that was poor defense as well. But that being said,
we're not qualifying. We're not qualifying shot making here.
He still made it.
You got to make it. You got to make it because he's had open shots. The Houston Rockets went 0 for 27 against the Warriors when Harden was there. So let's from 3. Let's not, let's give him the credit for making it.
All right.
All right. So let's recap our picks for that series, right? Philly and Boston. Keem has Philly in 7. KDot has Philly in 6. And then I had Boston in 5, which is technically wrong now.
That's past.
And then
not technically. It's wrong.
All right, bitch. You had Boston in 6.
Not technically wrong yet.
Yeah, last second 3 by Harden made my pick wrong. Yeah,
that is true.
Fucking do.
But that's why you play the game.
Yep.
You play to win the game.
I will say this. Number one, as CeeLo Green of the James Harden delegation, we do not accept your apology.
Want to be that man.
We don't accept your apology, James.
I don't want to accept.
You do not question.
You're gonna be
that
so
man.
sad next week when the Sixers are out.
No, we've seen
I'm getting
this
the
for 3
joking
years
out of the way.
straight.
I'm getting the joke out of the way because I will say this. I don't have the Sixers in 6. I can tell you that. I think that if it does come down to it, it's probably going to come down to Game 7 at this point.
Okay.
Just because of this, I have been critical even before we made the picks. I was been critical about Jason Tatum and what his role has been this season. Been overall a disappointment compared to what it is we thought was going into this season. After looking at his playoff performance last year and the year before, it was like, oh, Jason Tatum, he has arrived, right? And throughout the course of the season, we finally realized, oh, no, not really. But then if you look at like what was a game 2 in this series where he just fucking takes over, and it's like, okay, the 2 wins that Philly has had, those have been bad Tatum games. Like legit bad Tatum games. And if I'm going to play the numbers, while I don't think Tatum has arrived yet, what I'm not going to do is say that Tatum's going to continue to have this bad streak that he's having. It's not anything that I'm seeing Philadelphia do necessarily defensively against him. It's just he's not sinking the shots. And I don't think that cold streak continues. So if I'm looking at the remaining games on this series, I have to say at least 2 out of the next 3, I got to expect Tatum to show up. And if he does in that way, I mean, I would say that Boston should be able to win a game or 2, potentially 2. So, like, I'm worried about that.
They can't win 2.
I'm worried about if Tatum shows up, because it's been close. Like, this game that we just saw right here went to overtime, and Harden had to make an unbelievable shot. And this is with a bad Tatum performance. Mm-hmm. If Tatum plays well, like really good, is the deficit? Is the margin that no? But then there's another aspect to this which we haven't seen yet, and Keem alluded to this. I don't know if it'll be in the recorded part or not, which is the Embiid games haven't happened yet. So that's another thing. Is like
he's still playing injured.
He's still playing injured. I don't know if it's something that one day he just becomes healthy compared to what he was, or is he always going to be? Because he has that quote after the last game, which is like, "Well, they say this injury is supposed to be 4 to 6 weeks." It's like, what? What, motherfucker? Like, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean? Like, does that mean you're just not going to be healthy? And if you're not healthy, and this is the maximum that we're going to get from Embiid, which is still good, it's just not the level of Embiid play that we're used to, or we know that can come. If that happens, it's over.
13.
Look, I've said this beginning. If the first 2 games of this series, if Harden could get one of them, and Embiid comes back, and he's healthy, the series is over. It's over. If I get Embiid back to Embiid levels, then give me Philadelphia without a doubt. I just don't know if that's the case.
Like he had 34-13 tonight. Like what else?
30. I'm with you, James. I understand what you're saying.
Him not taking over.
It's more about. It's not just 34 and 14. It's about impact. He could have a 20 and 10 game and be more impactful. And like it's not just a numbers game for me. Like I think. To KDot's point, I think it's coming. I agree with the Tatum angle. Tatum's going to be better. Or he's going to fold like he did in the finals against the Warriors. But Tatum's going to be better. I think Tatum's going to be better. But I also think Embiid's going to be better. And I think because we haven't had the game where we just get everybody's best. Harden's great. Jaylen Brown's great. Tatum's great. Embiid's great. Maxi's great. Like we haven't gotten the game, that kind of game yet. But I think we might get a couple of those. And when it comes down to it, if we get Tatum at his best, if we get Brown at his best, if we get Embiid at his best, and if we get Harden at his best, and that's it, Philly wins the series. That's all. That Philly wins the series because Embiid at his best is better than anybody else on the other team at their best. Period. He's a better player than all of them. There's a better player
left in the playoffs better than him if he's playing at his best.
That's not true, but I understand. That's not true. Steph motherfucking Curry exists. That nigga ain't got no ring. Like I would love Embiid, but he ain't got no ring.
We'll talk about this series.
KD as well.
He ain't got no ring. And if Steph is at his best,
we'll talk about it.
Embiid ain't hitting 10 threes. Like don't get me started. KDot, let's not go there.
We're on the same. We're on the same side right now. Okay.
Tatum had 24 and 18. But
no.
He was like 1 for 6 from 3.
This what I'm saying is like in the playoffs, yes, you can look at certain stat lines, right? But it's a feeling you get. It's what to me basketball is number one. It's so much psychology in the game compared to any other sport. To me, psychology is and the way that chemistry works in basketball is unlike anything else. But number two is just the way that you play from a superstar standpoint when it comes to impact, right? It's like we're going to talk about the Golden State thing and who I think is probably the most important guy on that team as far as facilitating things, being Draymond Green, in the sense of like his impact of the way you feel him in the game. The way that Draymond and you feel him in the game is different than you feel like a Joel Embiid. You know when Embiid takes over a game. When he has the stretch and he takes over, when nothing's not going his way. There are moments in this game that we just watched this Sunday afternoon where he looked scared of Al Horford, where Horford was kind of dogging him when it came to some of the impact or going for some of the rebounds at certain points. And it's like, that's not Embiid taking over. That's not the confidence that I usually see from Embiid when he's taking over a game. Yeah, his stat line's going to be great because, look, Horford's got to play above and beyond anything that he has. Grant Williams got to play above and beyond anything he has for certain stretch just to keep up with him. There's nobody that can keep up with him. So he's going to get the stats. But as far as taking over completely, I haven't seen that yet this series. Harden has done it. Harden has absolutely done it this series. But Harden's been healthy. Embiid is not.
Yeah, it's always, if he's got the ball or he is guarding the ball, you're not worried, right? And right now, I don't think, like, he's shown that up to this point. He can score 30. That's fine. But down in the paint, and every time he touches the ball, you're just like, all right, this is a bucket. It just hasn't happened. But they have had James Harden for 2 of the 4 games, which is why they're 2-2.
Okay, so the next game is on Tuesday.
Yep, got a nice little break.
That's one day.
Not a break.
It's a break for Embiid and what it is I'm looking for with these Sixers right now. It's a break.
I think he's going to lay an egg the next game. He played 46 minutes and Harden played 47.
Overtime.
I know.
I mean, Tatum play.
Tatum played 47. He's younger, hasn't been injured like those other dudes. And Jaylen Brown played 44. However,
Tatum played deep into the playoffs last year. He was playing in late June when they weren't playing. So I'm gonna give you an even push on that. I'm gonna just say it's an even push just because I know he's got young legs, but
bro,
he's like Tatum's been continuously. It's the same thing that happened with Bron. Remember when Bron went on this crazy run and everybody's like, remember when he missed the playoffs when his first season with the Lakers? They're like, wait till he gets rest, because now this is the first time he's missed the playoffs in so long. I'm just saying, like, Tatum has been playing deep into the playoffs for the last 6 years. I don't care how young you are. There's wear and tear on your body because of that. He's been playing Eastern Conference Finals, Finals, semifinals, Eastern Conference Finals. You know what I'm saying? It's like
everyone comes due.
Him and Brown
get there every year, right? So they're gonna do it again.
I'm just saying he like 25, 26 now.
It's the same way I feel about Luka. I'm just saying everybody comes due at a certain time. They're human beings.
Luka has a lot of shit going on, man.
Oh, but he's not in the playoffs.
Luka got a lot of losing going on.
Nah, I'm talking about like he got family drama. Like that.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I don't know, but I heard about that. But yeah, that's different.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, but they're not in the playoffs. So.
All right. So next series, we done got the Harden shit out the way. I want to get over that one quick.
Not quick. No way was that quick.
That'll be the longest.
Going Knicks Heat. Going Knicks Heat.
I just want to get that shit out the way. Yeah, Knicks Heat.
Okay. Yeah. I just want to say, well, James, what did I have? I had what? Heat 6.
Yeah, the Heat in 7. Everybody had the Heat in 7. I had the Heat in 7.
I might have given the Knicks a game of too much credit, but I don't like similar to the like Sixers Celtics series. Just looking at the like Heat Knicks, Jimmy Butler cannot be fucked with. Like I'm sorry, like they don't have an answer. The Knicks just don't have an answer. Like you can't they don't have anybody to put on them. It's simple as that. It's like Jimmy Butler's going to win that series by himself because they don't have an answer for him. And then if they do, I'll be honest, I personally think Bam probably is better than Julius Randle too. So I just don't see how I'm wrong. I'm going to be wrong on my prediction. It's not going to go 7. I think he might get it in 5, but Heat in 6 for sure. Mm-hmm. I like the Knicks. The Knicks were a scrappy team. They got their first round win out of the way. Spo is a better coach than Tibbs. Like
Spo one of the greatest coaches ever.
Like I really don't see any like I don't know what the Knicks win. You know, like in terms of the matchup. Like you're better at the point guard position. Okay, I give you that. Like you might be better at the point guard position, like Brunson. I'll give you Brunson, but Lowry's pretty good when he's in, even though he comes off the bench. I like Lowry, so it's kind of even to me. But I'll give you Brunson, Jimmy, and then it's just a bunch of Heat wins after that for me. It's just a bunch of Heat wins, and I just don't see where the Knicks like even get in terms of like winning a matchup. Like the other series that we look at is like like what we're alluding to, the AD and Draymond. That's a key matchup. That's the series. For the Knicks and the Heat is like, hopefully Jimmy gets hurt. If Jimmy gets hurt and stays hurt, you might could win more games. But I don't know. Like, what matchup am I giving the Knicks? Like, I don't know. They're not winning the series unless somebody gets hurt.
I think the Knicks tend to go the way that Julius Randle does, and he's been shooting like 4 for 20, like just not good. And they can't win like that. They don't have enough other scoring pieces. Quickly was good like earlier in the season, definitely fallen off. RJ Barrett is either the greatest player on the court or is a G leaguer, or just an absolute fucking pile of trash. Jalen Brunson, always consistent, always driving, always getting fouled, good at the foul line. But if Julius Randle doesn't get it going, like he can have fucking 16 boards and 8 assists. If he comes up with 8 points, they're gonna lose by 20. Like that's just he's got too much court time, and not like if they can contain him, Jalen Brunson can put up 50, you still lose 80 to 107. Like it's just that's how it goes. I mean, if playoff Jimmy continues the way he's going, this will be over quickly.
I forgot I had nicknames for all these series. So I know.
Kind of glad that you forgot. We are.
I remembered. So yeah. The first one, Boston and Philly, I called that one racism wins because Boston's gonna win that series.
Philadelphia's pretty fucking racist.
This one here, I called it the Timberwolves practice because Jimmy Butler is whooping their ass. It's just the practice, like for the world to see.
They are all Jeff Teague. They are all Jeff Teague. The Knicks is full of Jeff Teagues and Karl Anthony Towns. Like that's it.
Yeah.
Like Jimmy, the only way the Knicks get through is that every single player that Ryan just named has to bring their A game all in the same night, and Jimmy has to have a not so great night. And the prospect of that happening enough times, it had to be 3 more times for the Knicks to win this. I doubt it'll happen. Now that's not to say the only thing that I'm looking at is that I see a Knicks team in which they're inconsistent, but I personally don't know if I've seen the ceiling on all these guys, so I don't know if they can hit another echelon at some point that we just haven't seen yet. Brunson being one of those dudes, but I love Brunson. I think everybody loves Brunson. I know James loves Brunson. But can they step outside themselves and give us something that we haven't seen before? Maybe. I wouldn't be completely thrown away by that. But as it's going right now, Jimmy Butler, look, I was listening to, if you haven't listened to it, oh God, please listen to it. Gilbert Arenas went long with Ryan Russillo on his pod the other day. And,
whose pod?
Russillo's pod.
Oh,
Gilbert was on Russillo's pod.
Oh, I love Gilbert. And Ryan's good.
So good.
Ryan's great and Gilbert's good. So
Ryan, you should cut that part up and then just post it all the time.
Keeping that forever.
Yep.
What?
Ryan's good.
You just said Ryan's great.
Ryan with an E.
No, but we don't know.
Just saying.
You ain't spelling it out for me.
But what Gilbert was saying was that they were asking about Jimmy Butler. Once again, still my favorite player in the NBA. Has been ever since that Timberwolves practice. I put that out there, all this out.
He's top 3 for me.
He is top 20 during the regular season, and in the playoffs, he's top 3. He looks top 3 at times, and it's just one of those things where it's just. I mean, we saw what he was able to do as far as bringing his team to a fucking championship. It was people don't give it enough credit. It was AI levels of supremacy that we were seeing as far from a playing standpoint.
But to be fair, like the bubble kind of created the not giving him enough credit, which I believe is fair. However, I think the recreation of it now, eighth seed, we're probably going to go to the Eastern Conference Finals and lose to the 76ers. I think he'll get the credit that he deserves.
Probably, but
the Sixers aren't making it. Remember,
but the bubble.
Huh?
Oh wait,
he picked them to. What did you just?
Oh
forget?
shit! Yeah, I missed that. My bad.
Yeah, it's going to be a narrative.
My bad.
Embiid versus Butler. They should have stayed on the same team, but 76ers are going to the finals to play. We'll see.
That's still.
You notice the whole like.
Damn it! I wish he
Harden
was
thing
still
now?
on that team.
That they were like James Harden passed up a few layups, and like people are making note of it now. The same way they did Ben Simmons. Did you notice that?
I didn't notice that.
I did notice in this game there were times where.
No, it was last game too.
Well, I noticed in this game right here, there were times where Harden had an opportunity. He's right there at the bucket. Doris even said it on the announcement today, and he kicks it out when it's like, you're there, like well, you're right there. There's no need to kick it out. But I don't know. It's a hard. I don't know. I don't know if Harden just thinks he's going to get hit. I mean, he usually loves drawing fouls, so I don't get it.
I was going to say, I don't think it's that. So me personally, I've been wondering, and this is what I said when we talked about the series beforehand. It's just. I feel sometimes Harden doesn't feel like he's the man when Embiid's on the court. Like he doesn't give us 2018 Harden at all. Like we don't get it anymore. And it's like
no, that confidence is gone. That swag that he had is
it's
not
even the confidence for me.
I just think the swag is not.
I think he's in defer mode. That's what I think. Like and like the shit games that he has is like, hey. 15 assists, 14 shot attempts. And I'm like, motherfucker, like, no, 20 shot attempts, 10 assists. Like, let's change that.
I will say this. I will go back to when you guys are making fun of me. Oh, sorry. Kim, you're breaking up a little bit. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. But we were talking in the earlier on the season when you guys are making fun of me about the pick and roll with the Harden and Embiid pick and roll. Which still is one of the nastiest things in the NBA when it's working properly. What I saw in practice with Doc and Harden was some of the most interesting stuff. They recorded a bunch of the practices early on, and they were showing what it is that we're back on the Sixers series. All of a sudden,
that's your fucking fault.
It's not my fault. It's my fault.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's James's fault. He was given his nicknames and shit. So the thing with Harden. That Doc was telling him was like, he told him it is your job to get these young guys involved. It is your job to get these young guys. It was like a mantra that he was telling him. And maybe that's part of it. Maybe that's one of those things where Harden realizes that through Doc, I'm not going to be player A. I'm not 1A. Not here. That's not my job. I'm supposed to facilitate, and I'm supposed to make sure that Embiid's the guy. And if that's the case, man, I applaud him. I do think that in this playoff series, Harden has had to be, at least in game one, I think Doc gave him, you take it, go, it's yours. This game, even with 42, it did feel in this game a little disjointed between what we were seeing with Harden and what we were seeing with Embiid. I don't know who they were deferring to or who was the guy in this game. Harden just ended up with more points.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll see. Still got racism in 5. Okay. Or in 6.
Well, you can't, but okay.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks. I hate it. All right.
Oh, one question about the Celtics. I'm noticing more recently than ever before, people referring to them as the C's. I know that's always been a thing, but I feel like it's more prevalent now, and it's annoying.
Never calling them that.
Huh? I'm
never calling them that.
It feels wrong to me.
Yeah. It's just on a multitude of levels.
Right. It's just I don't like. I feel like it's been a lot more prevalent this year than I've ever heard it as far as people referring to the Celtics as the C's. I don't like it.
people in Boston have a hard time spelling Celtics. It's just tough for them, so they just reduce it to a letter. Makes it easier for the population.
That's still my second favorite city in America.
Yeah, it's great. I don't like it in the winter though. It's too cold.
I love it. Still the coldest I've ever been.
Man,
Boston.
fuck Boston.
You ever been?
No, not going.
It's fucking gorgeous. That's the dumb thing to say. Cambridge is one of my favorite places. But
It's one of my best like walking cities ever.
Fuck it all. All right.
Team, you ever been to Boston?
No, but I'm going November apparently. We'll see.
Oh, congrats.
Good place. Good place.
In November? Oh, bro.
Yeah, but they handle snow so better than anyone else.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Next series, we got Denver and Phoenix. This one is why is Denver good? Because
what was our predictions on this one?
This one, I had Denver in 6. Ryan and Keem had Phoenix in 6, and then you had Denver in 6 too. KDot.
I remember that switch. You convinced me.
Yeah.
Good. Looking good. Looking good.
With this one, I'm pretty confident in my pick only because I like the thing that puts Phoenix over the top is what we saw in the last game, right? It's KD and Booker are better than whatever the best is. Booker gave them, what was it, 35, 17, and 17?
Sounds about right.
It's like
30, 17.
Yeah, but it was yes. He gave him that's crazy fucking numbers.
That is a big boy.
Now, to be fair, Booker gave him 47 on 20 of 25 shooting, which is also insane.
Yep.
To be fair. KD gave him, I think it was 38, 37, 8, and 6.
39, 8, and 9. Crazy.
39, 8, and 9. 39, 8, and 9. But in that, that's what I was talking about in terms of the Philly-Boston series. We got everybody's best. And who won? Phoenix. Simple. Phoenix needs to do that for the next 3 games, and they can win the series. That's my opinion. If they can lock in, because that's an offensive series. Nobody on either team has a bunch of defensive stoppers. Like it's not like, hey, like wait till they put Draymond on KD. Oh, they don't have a Draymond. They don't have a Mikal Bridges anymore. Like it doesn't fucking matter. It's all offense. It's all offense. And if it's all offense, it's all KD and it's all Booker. Jokic loses every time. Every time he should. Every time.
And KD shot 12 for 31 and still scored 39. So
14 to 16 from the free throw line. So that'll help.
Yeah, I would disagree as far as saying that we saw the absolute best from Denver. I think it was a bad Gordon night.
Same thing.
It was definitely a bad Gordon night last game.
Yeah, and Jamal Murray went 1 for 6 from 3.
Yeah, so like if I'm looking at those two things, like to me the story of that series, look, I get the Booker Durant thing. I understand as far from a superstar standpoint. Yep, they got that. Chris Paul being gone, I still think fucking matters quite a goddamn bit. Outside of that, what I'm looking at when it comes to Denver is that we've seen Denver do what they do in the regular season and then reach this crescendo in the West, and it is what it is, and it's kind of over. I've had a lot of this Western Conference is about whether or not Jokic has taken the next step. I will say, based on what I've seen so far this playoffs from Jokic, I think he's there. I think he has. I don't think our brains are adjusting to what it is we're seeing just yet. The stat line shows it. We're physically seeing it. I just don't think our brains have caught up to what it is we're seeing. And I think what Denver did, especially this season, and it cost them the MVP race, was they basically shut him down at the end of the fucking season, basically like, hey, we're not playing this fucking hard because we've done this time in and time out, and then we reach this point where we don't have everything that we need going into the playoffs. Because if you even look at every time that they either lose to a team that has, matter of fact, Gilbert Arenas was saying this on the pod I was listening to, is they end up losing to the champion, or at least a team that goes pretty far in the fucking finals, and they're never fully healthy. Denver's never fully healthy in that series. They are fully fucking healthy, and they are giving it to these guys. And I just think that, like, if I had to pick, yeah, I feel pretty confident in this Denver series the way if it continues the way it is. I get it. Booker and Durant is extremely hard to say that I'm not going to pick either one of those guys and those guys together to win a series if we're going just off the superstar method. I'm just saying right now, if I had to pick between all three of them, and I would have never said this even 3 weeks ago, Joker might be my guy. I think Joker's my guy.
Okay. So Joker's your guy.
Okay, so I was in agreement with you. I was in agreement with you up until that last point. My only thing is, again, 100% agree with you. Like, I think Jokic has arrived. I think he's here. I think we're seeing his best and we're seeing success. So let's talk about the Dirk comparison, right? The thing when Dirk won that championship, he went through juggernauts, right? But also, if we're being honest, if we can give him a little bit of accountability, old Lakers team, Spurs didn't have Kawhi yet, but you ran into the buzzsaw that is D-Wade, that should have been D-Wade, LeBron, and Bosh. But mentally, Bron was too weak at the time to overcome Jason Terry and JJ Barea talking shit to him. And so he couldn't do that. But with Jokic, I see it. I agree with you. I think he's through this, like, so far in the playoffs, he's here, right? I agree with you. I think him being here means shit in comparison to what Booker has ascended in this playoffs. You could argue he's been the best player in the playoffs. He's ascended. I didn't think Booker was ever going to be this good. I was never on a Booker fan. I didn't think I thought he'd be more so like a number 2 than a number 1. And just the way he's playing, he's ascended too. The problem for me is, you said we had a bad Aaron Gordon game. Jamal Murray didn't do his thing. My thing is, they're role players. That's what they're going to do. When I say do that thing, I mean the superstars, because Jamal's going to be up and down. Aaron's going to be up and down. They're not all-stars. They're not all-star players. They're solid players, and they're not enough. This isn't the Nuggets run for me, in my opinion, because you don't have enough help. You need the Suns to be a little bit older.
I think it's different. Let me push back right here. Let me push back right here on you. I'm going to push back right. God, that sounded gay as shit. I think the comparison that you need to make with this Denver team is more San Antonio, in the sense of, I wouldn't classify Murray and Gordon and them as just your cast-off role guys, as much as the guys that are built for the system they have in Denver, that has been the class of the NBA in the regular season for years now. Like, it's not a one and off sort of thing. It was, and you remember the guy who's the guy in that San Antonio thing was Tim Duncan, right? I think the comparison as far as what he means to the team is more Joker in a San Antonio Tim Duncan-like role, with guys that, like, was Manu ever a superstar? Was Parker a superstar? I don't want to like. I say no. I say no.
Okay.
I think that they're great.
I know what you're saying.
I think they're fucking awesome. And I think they're awesome in that system. And I think that they can win so many stars, right? But they're not.
But they were all-stars.
Yeah, they're all-stars. But I look at Murray and I look at those guys. I'm like, those are all-star caliber guys that are always at the top of the fucking league in wins. And they're finally all healthy, and they're putting it together. And that, to me, is huge. Now, I also think that I'm not comparing 1-to-1 Denver's system to a Greg Popovich San Antonio team. I'm just saying it's closer as far as what the superstar and the guys around them mean to this team compared to other things. I don't think it's just the case of you got the one superstar carrying these guys with him. Because I don't think that usually leads to leading the NBA in fucking wins year in and year out. We don't usually see that from just the superstar carrying the guys with them. You got to have more talent than that.
We haven't seen it though. We've seen Brad do it. We've seen do it. And we don't see as much as often. I agree with you. It's not as
game. Your internet is so bad right now. What are you saying?
Okay.
No, if you calm it down, it actually
I agree
works.
with you.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah.
I don't like to calm it down. But I agree with you. We don't usually see it, but we have seen it. We've seen it from Dirk. We've seen it from LeBron, where they're carrying people who are not necessarily superstars or even all-stars, and they're carrying to seasons.
I don't think for 4 years.
It's not that common though. Those are two fucking outliers.
I get it, but I don't think it's for 3 or 4 years straight.
Yeah, but
they haven't been. It's not been 4 years. It's been 2.
To me, that means
2 or 3.
Means a lot.
It
means a lot. It means a lot. 4 years means a fuck ton.
It means less. So, my opinion, it means less because the league has changed now. You look at the way this whole season has gone so far. The great teams value the regular season, and we've had injuries and all this shit, and it's like, okay, nobody gives a fuck. Bron and them is gonna make the playoffs, and who gonna want to play them? Golden State is gonna make the playoffs, and then who gonna want to play? It's like it doesn't matter. It does not matter that they've prioritized.
Well, that's the thing. That's why I'm saying that this year for me is when Denver has flipped the priority. They showed at the end of this season, Joker was in the kind of the catbird seat as far as MVP. Raiders were trying to talk themselves out of giving Jokic the MVP. Were they not? And then it was like, okay, he's clearly not interested in winning it. Like, this is not what Denver's going for. They are saving themselves for the playoffs. And that's what everybody saw at the end of the season. I just think it's been flipped. If you tell me that the Suns pull this thing out because Booker, as I agree, has absolutely ascended, I think Booker's attitude is bigger than he's not false bravado. I thought Booker had the opportunity from a certain standpoint, I think he's a better player than this guy, but I just think from a mentality standpoint, I thought he had the ability to be maybe a better Trae Young in the sense that, yeah, you might be, but you're clearly not the guy. But then Booker has taken it from an attitude standpoint, especially this playoffs, where you just see him on the court, he's not to be fucked with. And like that to me is like that little bit of Jimmy Butler, that little bit of Joel Embiid that I haven't seen as much as I want to this series, but it's like that, hey, I'm the baddest motherfucker on this court.
Push back.
But
all right, look, Booker can score, right? But he's always been able to do that. The thing is, that man is a front runner. He's going to do all this shit talking, but you saw how it ended for him last time. This time, he's not the best player on his team, in my opinion. It's KD.
Who is also a front runner.
Yeah.
And where's it going to leave him? Out the playoffs versus Denver in 6.
But I will say, I don't think it's the trash talk. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it's trash talk. I just think it's a mentality. If you can tell when somebody has the confidence to truly believe in they're the best thing on the court. We see it every day when Russell Westbrook's on the court. But it's like you can tell when there's some game to back the fuck up. And Booker, I think, is in that territory right now where he could be something.
I just send him
here's what I'll put it. I'll put it this way. If Tatum could show me the same heart that Booker does, game in and game out, he'd be the superstar he wanted to be.
All right. I think the biggest point is that Jokic plus his team is not as good as KD and Booker. And that is point blank period. Aaron Gordon averages 15 points a game.
I firmly disagree.
I have not seen enough
There's
of it
a reason
yet.
why they're up 2-1.
I've also haven't seen enough.
They had very good games from very average players that they cannot expect to continue to have those games.
Bruh. They won 53 fucking games, bruh.
Cool.
Like, look.
Cool. It's a regular season.
This is exactly why. This is exactly why I said why is Denver so good? Because they're gonna beat the shit out of the Phoenix. They're gonna beat them in 6.
I'm not as hardcore as James is on this. I can't be, because I know what superstars can do. But I will also the pushback I'll give as far as the Phoenix Suns thing also is I did listen to an interview that Bill Simmons did with the new Phoenix Suns owner, which was great. And I think somebody dropped the link of a particular portion of it. It was James. Yeah. But if you listen to the entire interview, it's fucking amazing. But the thing with Phoenix is that you look at how much time has KD had with Booker together this year playing basketball. And if I'm looking at like how many games they've actually played, like I don't know I get from a superstar standpoint, and if you just put the ball in a certain guy's hands, anything can happen. But if I'm looking at fundamental basketball and playing as a team and getting in and out, to me, Phoenix next year, I thought the Phoenix thing was over. I'm excited for Phoenix next year more than I am this year. Because I think if they get a full fucking offseason to work together, Durant's not going anywhere, Booker's not fucking going anywhere, I think it'll be a problem. But I also think you spend so much time not playing with the guys, it usually does not work out for you in the playoffs. And I'm looking at Denver, who plays probably the best team basketball, regular season or not, anybody in the fucking league. That's just me. But once again, I would not be surprised just from a superstar standpoint if Phoenix pulled it off. I wouldn't be.
I think Aiden's gone next year too, by the way.
Yeah, because Kyrie's coming.
Aiden's a center, but all right. I get you talking about contract.
It makes too much sense, James. It makes too much sense. It has to happen.
For the swap?
It has to happen. It makes too much sense not to. Y'all have no other options.
We don't have a center. We haven't had one for whatever, but
we have no other options. Come on.
You know, I'm about to pull Akeem. I just like the game. Just like the game. I just like the game. God damn it, bro. All right. Are we good? Are we good on this series?
Yeah, let's go to the one that we're going to argue about the most.
Oh my God.
All right. So this one, this last series is my good old 30 is different series. 30 is different. So KDot, you had the Lakers in 7.
I did.
I had Golden State in 6, and then Ryan and Keem had Golden State in 7.
Yep.
Yeah.
You want me to start it off? I can start it off. Anybody else? All right. Look, I still got the Lakers winning this thing. And the reason I got the Lakers winning this thing is Anthony Davis. And I don't want to put all my chips on the Anthony Davis.
That's why you shouldn't do it.
Hey, but I'm doing it because look, here's the thing right now. When Anthony Davis is playing at the ability that he can, when he's fully involved and fully into what's going on, because there's sometimes he does not look interested. I don't think there's anything. There's nobody on that Golden State team that can stop him. Period. There's no matchup or anything that works as far as AD. It just doesn't. And the thing is that we've seen even in these games. I think it was game 1 that the Lakers won. Clay and Steph both hit 6 threes. Like they had good fucking games. And the thing is, like everything that Golden State can throw at them and having a good shooting night, actually putting together shit. It still doesn't hit the limit when AD's having a great game. It just hasn't yet so far in the series. So like maybe that changes, but everything that I've seen in this series shows me if AD is playing up to stuff, the series has shown itself. 2-1. AD.
Number 2 player in the world.
For that moment before season 3 years ago.
No, we argued you then. And it's just been proven.
It was a power ranking. But look, mate, I'm sorry. AD, when engaged, is a problem. He's a huge problem.
He's not engaged all the time.
He's not. I'm
not even close.
They lost the game because AD wasn't playing.
I think it was Jay Williams that said it. Like, he's Mr. EKG.
Hey.
Like, his games go up and if you look at his stat lines, it's literally an EKG, which is crazy. And I feel bad for repeating it, but I mean, it just is what it is.
Hey, Keem, before you explode, go ahead.
Okay.
Keep it calm so that you don't that your internet doesn't leave us questioning what you're saying. I want to hear it.
When someone shows you who they are, believe them.
Need that from our relationship.
And if AD, he's not 25 anymore. He's not 22 anymore. He's not 21 anymore. He's not 27 anymore. He's not 28 anymore. He showed us he's 30. He's fucking 30. He's been in the league over 10 years now. He showed us who he is. He's shown us who he is. Maybe he'll get lucky and he'll be different. Maybe. But I don't count on that. I count on him showing me. I know who he is. He's fake. He's a bitch ass nigga, and who is very tall with the night.
He got a championship
with a long unibrow. No, that don't look at shit. I don't go. a fuck. He ain't got shit. Bron got a championship.
Fuck out of here, man.
No.
Get the fuck out.
You were talking, and the same reason he didn't win Finals MVP in that championship, like he fucking should have. He started off on fire, fell off. Bron got it. Started off on fire, fell off. Bron got it. Listen, the thing with AD is he is too meek he is too inconsistent to be that guy. We've always hoped. We was like, yeah, man, he has a talent. He's so good. He has a talent. Did you see it, man? Oh man, he's like a better version of KG when he's at his best. Yeah, but he's not at his best all the time now, is he? And so what we've seen with AD is falsehood. He's not him. That's what we've seen. At 30 years old, why do we fucking keep searching for, it's coming. Yeah, this is the year. This is the year. No, motherfucker, it's not. It's not the year. He is who we thought he was. He is who he has been. He is not him. He is not him. And the difference is Draymond. AD is the X factor for this series. He is. If he can be him for 4 games, they will win the series. They will win the fucking championship. If he can be him for 4 games, there's nobody else who can stop AD and LeBron at their best. It's impossible, but they won't be because Draymond be shitting on fucking AD all the time. The reason they won the last game is because Draymond played 23 minutes and he got in foul trouble. The referees that ref that game are the same referees that ref the Sacramento Kings game 6, and so they got fucking help. Now, it's going to be different moving forward. They won't win the next game. They'll win. They might win another game, but they won't win the series. That's that.
I agree.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
I can't.
Fuck you.
AD when locked down will score 10 points. AD when not locked down will score 30. The refs 100% helped the Lakers in that game. And I don't want to hear anything about it. Anybody that watched that game would be like, yeah, it seemed like there were some pretty bad calls. But yeah, and when his shoulder slump and when his head goes down a little bit, Lakers are done. LeBron can't do enough. Austin Reeves is, my trash can's outside the door, and I really want to go get it. But Austin Reeves is garbage. And they just don't have enough pieces on that team unless AD is on fire. The problem is Golden State has enough pieces on their team, even if Jordan Poole is playing like a piece of shit, which you are, Jordan. The rest of that team is lights out. Clay can go for 40. Steph can go for 40. It's not a problem. Draymond could go for 12. It would be crazy, right? But yet, no, AD is so inconsistent. And as much shit as I give Steph for being inconsistent, he's not, oh, I'm going to score 11 or 30. He's like, oh, I'm going to score 45 or 19, 23. But I got Clay, and Clay can go for 30. I think the last game was a little fluky. They aren't who we thought they were, the Los Angeles Lakers. And I don't see them. They probably will get one more game. Probably to tie the series and then lose.
I'm still laughing at the whole like vendetta you had against Steph a few years back.
Oh, I just gave that up like 6 months ago. Let's not pretend like that wasn't like a 3-year vendetta against Steph. He just ruined the game of basketball. Give me real centers again. Look, AD, is he a real center? No.
Looney is.
I will say this. The most important player, in my opinion, on Golden State, I think Keem kind of alluded to it. I don't know if you agree with me that he's the most important player, but he's Draymond. Because they facilitate everything they're doing on offense through Draymond Green. Like, you could see that as clear as that.
Dallas, Draymond.
It's the defense for me. It's the defense.
It's everything. But I'm saying, especially, it's glaring to me offensively, but defensively, it's all of it. Like, Draymond is the cog of everything that's running through that offense. I mean, look at his numbers. Like, I think in the game that they won, he had like 11 rebounds, 9 assists, 11 points, or something fucking crazy. Like, he's flirting with a fucking triple-double all the time when they're being successful, right? Like, there's always that. Never usually on the point side, but very much on the rebounds and the assists. But the only other thing, I hate keep bringing up the interview, but you guys need to listen to the Ryan Russillo Gilbert Arenas interview. Gilbert made a point that I want to bring here because I think that it'll get shut down immediately. And while I agree with Gilbert sometimes, I think he can be kind of crazy at other times. He did say this. I just want to know what you guys thought. His opinion was, as far as the supporting cast for LeBron James, this Lakers team is better than that Cavs team with Kyrie and Bron on it. And I started thinking about it the same way I think Ryan started thinking about it on that. And it's right. And like to me is that like
absolutely
when AD is playing at his best, and I guess you guys are right, he's been up and down as fuck, right? Absolutely, he's up and down. He's been doing all this kind of crazy shit. When he's playing at his peak, and the thing is, like, he's been up and down, but I've seen more consistency these playoffs than I have throughout any other stretch, really, in years from him, which is the only thing that gives me this, like, it's going to work in their favor more than it's not going to work in their favor. That's the only reason. There's another dude that I'm a huge... Rui Hachimura. To me, he had an off game. I don't think he was really there, but I love Rui. I love Rui in that system. And another guy who really stepped out
he's been great.
Is D'Angelo Russell, who should have never left. But D'Angelo Russell had a hell of a performance. What?
He couldn't have stayed in that locker room at that time.
Oh,
he should. No, he could.
But
they should.
They sold everything for.
They shouldn't have traded him. It was like, think about it like this, James. All right, so they were like, it was a problem with
Nick Young. Yeah, so they probably should have moved Nick Young
because he snitched on on Nick Young. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't snitch on like Shaq or like anybody like that. He snitched on Nick Young. You know what I'm saying? Like you could have just got rid of Nick Young.
Yeah.
And everybody else on the team.
What you said? And everybody else on the team?
Yeah. They didn't have anybody value. They got rid of everybody else eventually anyway, which is why I stopped being a fan because of LeBron. LeBron came and hey,
GM LeBron is terrible.
Everybody, Brandon Ingram, everybody, y'all going.
GM
But no,
LeBron is
they should have like.
Well, they traded
when he was healthy. They did, but I'm not finna go into that. But I just want to say D'Angelo Russell would have been a good fit to Lonzo Ball because Lonzo is a defender, point guard, Jason Kidd type, and he's gonna pass the ball. And D'Angelo Russell is more of a slasher, like attacking. He's 6'5", and there would have been a tall backcourt. Then you would have had Brandon Ingram at 6'8", small forward. You would have had Julius Randle at 6'9", power forward. And all you need is a good center to play defense. It would have been a fun Lakers team to see. But they wanted the superstar, and they did that. They went their route. That's fine. I don't give a fuck anymore. I say that to say this team is better than that Cavs team because not just the role players, but I think AD, again, we do this at his best, is better than Kyrie. So, and to be fair, and even in the series that they won, Kyrie had 2 or 3 off games, but he had the two or three that you needed to win the series.
Yes.
So it just is what it is.
LeBron is also 7 or 8 years older now than he was.
I was gonna make that point, right? Yes. Steph is better than he was then. Bron isn't as good as he was then.
I can't
disagree. The team around Bron is better.
Bron's a better passer.
You what?
Bron's a better passer than he was now than he was then.
Because he has to.
No, he's not.
I think so.
No, he's not.
How do we?
But no, I would absolutely agree that LeBron overall as a player is not as good as he was then. Steph Curry is absolutely better than he was back then. I can't deny that.
All right. Also, when the Warriors win in 7. I'll be like,
this is literally just I'm betting on AD. It's the wrong bet to make.
Yeah.
I'm betting on AD. That's it. That's literally it. That's the entire point of this.
And then when you come back, you be like, damn, I shouldn't have bet on AD.
I'm still rocking with it.
Next year he does it again.
I know you are. Like, it's the same thing with Doc Rivers.
Do you disagree with me that I've seen, look, as inconsistent as a guy as he is this the most consistency we've seen from AD in a while? Like, it's a low bar.
Going 50%.
No,
being
it's a low
consistent.
bar.
That's terrible.
No, he was more consistent in the bubble. He was more consistent in the bubble.
How many years ago was the bubble? How many years ago was the bubble? I'm not counting that as I'm saying recently. I'm saying like a year or two.
That's not. Don't conflate. Don't conflate. You asked a question. Don't conflate. You asked a question.
I said recently.
And the answer to your question is no.
I'm saying recently. I'm saying the bubble's outside
recently
of recently.
Is 3 years.
I'm saying the bubble's outside of recently. Fine.
I made
recently. No, absolutely. But hold on, I'm not fine. Even if that's the point. If the point is the most consistent we've seen of AD, they won a championship. Of course, I get that.
He was focused,
that makes sense.
Only playing basketball, solely focused on basketball.
He made us think he was the second best player in the world.
No, not us. Some.
Wait, don't you sum me? All right, let's.
It was me and you, Ryan. We taking that to the fucking grave.
Oh, you said that too?
No, I was not a part of that.
Bullshit. Me and him were both on
the
number 2 power ranking.
Oh,
we were both defending.
Damn, Ryan, you got away from that smoke for a long time.
Yeah, it's because I was louder.
True. You were, I
didn't run away. He saw that you guys were letting him out, so he just let it out. He was like, "Oh, if they ain't gonna come after me on this, I'm just gonna slip out the back door." All right, are we talking about Budenholzer before we get off NBA? Are we done with these?
We're talking about Budenholzer and Dillon Brooks. So which one y'all want to start with?
Budenholzer, because I got something I need to say.
All right. Well, go ahead and say it.
All right, Budenholzer's out. Overall, is it the right choice for Milwaukee? Yes. No. Are they going to find anybody better than Budenholzer? No. It's what it is. But here's the point. And God damn it, I should have listened to that Gilbert fucking interview before I did this pod, because it's ruined everything for me. It's ruined all my takes.
Well, so why are you listening to Gilbert on everything? Like, why?
Him and Ryan Russillo. Look, Ryan Russillo is one of the absolute best sports journalists, podcasters, period, in the world. I will defend that to the fucking death. And I also think Gilbert is a wonderful balance to him, because Ryan takes his time and actually thinks through shit. Gilbert is one of the smartest dudes ever in basketball, and yet one of the also craziest motherfuckers to have ever existed on planet Earth. The combination is incredible to me. But he went through this bit as far as the difference between basketball players and hoopers. Basketball players and hoopers. And we're talking about the European players compared to the American players. American players do more hoopers. It's your Deion Waiters. It's your guys that go out there. It's your Russell Westbrooks. It's the guys that go out there and hoop, but they don't play fundamental basketball, right? And the European guys, they play fundamental. Luka can play a fundamental basketball game. I think he's selfish as shit, but he can play a fundamental basketball game. The Giannis is a European hooper. And the thing with Giannis is that with what Budenholzer did in that playoff series against the Heat is inexcusable. The lack of timeouts when they need them, the lack of changing up the defense. If Jimmy Butler's going off and you don't think just maybe let's double team him, just doesn't even cross your fucking mind. You're being stupid. You're being stubborn and fucking stupid. You don't deserve to have the job anymore. But what it also doesn't do is it doesn't take Giannis off the hook. Which is, as much as he was hurt, there's a particular part of Giannis that is still aggravating me. When I was yelling on the pod a couple seasons ago, when I was like, they needed to do such and such with Giannis to get a championship, it's because Giannis is the closest thing we have in the NBA to what Shaq was. Because of my physical gifts, you can't stop me from hooping. If I want to hoop, I'm going to hoop. You can't necessarily stop me from doing so. But what will win them championships every year is if Giannis can work on the other fundamental aspects of his game. And that is going to be a coach killer in fucking Milwaukee until they figure that shit out. No, he has to spend time working on other aspects of his fucking game. He needs to. If he's going to spend the rest of his career just hooping, yes, he will win another championship, but will forever be limited to what he could actually accomplish in this fucking league. And it's frustrating as shit, because I think he's clearly the best hooper in all of the NBA. I don't think there's a close second. I really don't. If he could just do some other things even just a little bit better, it'd be insane. Just fucking do it. Otherwise, there's gonna be a lot of guys going through.
His next team the best. Like, whatever decision he makes for his next team.
It won't change. It won't change. This won't change until he is a coach killer superstar. It's what he is.
I don't know. But Milwaukee shouldn't have fired him.
No, he's not.
Look, they won a championship.
But see, the thing, Bud should have been fired before the year. He would have been fired the year he won the championship if they didn't win the championship. But he got lucky. He got lucky. He's not that good of a coach. He's the 1 year, like he's a 1 year wonder. Like he got lucky that year. KD stepped on the fucking line. If KD steps on the line, like just imagine, like literally how it would change. If KD didn't win that series, they probably win the championship. He's probably still in Brooklyn. They made it win another championship of Kyrie and Harden stay healthy, but that's just not what happened. He got lucky that year, and the same thing. And this is just. There are some championships where they're a little bit more lucky than anything else. And so with that, this is my point with when we talked about Jokic and them. It's like he's going to need a little bit more luck than anything. He's going to need Jamal Murray to play like a superstar. He's going to need Aaron Gordon to play like a superstar. They're lower tier. Maybe if I was in the East and the position class was weaker, I'd be an all-star guys. But they're not all-stars because they're not good enough. They're not all NBA guys. And that's the kind of players that Jokic should have been playing with. But that's the kind of players that he is playing with. But I said it to say, listen, Bud should have gotten fired. However, if you don't place Bud with a legitimate superstar, and I said this in the group chat, there's only one superstar head coach out there that can make maybe a difference with that team that I can think of in terms of like what's available, and that's Nick Nurse. Then you just kind of, I mean, like we hope, I mean, they could look up and get somebody who's an assistant and he turns out to be a superstar. I'm not saying that's impossible. That's very possible. But if you want the more known commodity available, it's Nick Nurse. You got to go with Nick Nurse. He's a championship head coach. He makes awesome adjustments. He had a shit team with Raptors. Give them a good team with the Bucks. Let them make some moves, and that's a championship caliber team. They're back in the hunt.
I think the Bucks are about to be a dumpster fire. That's why you got all these teams circling around. No. Their contracts are in shambles. All their like star players are in their 30s now. Like this is not.
I was about to say his supporting cast is older. Yep. Yeah, that is a problem. His supporting cast is older.
This is not something that you're gonna sit there and think like, we can retool and in 2 or 3 years we'll be back to where we need to be. Like, no,
it's not a one fix thing for them. Not at all.
Oh, I know, but the stuff they need to fix, like even if you took into account like the shit the NBA is doing in regards to the cap space now and like the luxury tax and all that stuff, the Bucks are about to be screwed.
Yeah, they'll figure
like
it out.
this new rule that they implemented like fucks them over.
I don't know enough about it. I will say that I'm just think the cast that is in Milwaukee, I think, is a championship level cast. I really do. Drew Holiday is the best defender in basketball when he wants to be. Chris Middleton is still, I think, a solid number 2. I really do think Milwaukee is enough. I think that the Giannis injury, Budenholzer's inability to adjust at all, defensively or offensively, cost them probably a championship this year.
And that's probably why they made the move. If all these issues are coming up, the team's getting older, there's going to be contract issues. If you don't fire him now and you give him one more season and you have the same result, now you are at the end of contracts. Your team is 1 year older. You got to make the move now. And they should have made it last year. But,
their window is small. Because Drew Holiday is going to be 33 going into next season. Chris Middleton is 32 going into next season. Giannis still young. But his supporting cast, and we're starting to see like injuries affect them this year.
Absolutely.
They're a little worse off because of that supporting cast. And so I do think maybe you go with it next year, but after that, you need to make some trades. You need to retool. If you're not going this year, you need to you need to get him a number 2 and a number 3 who are more in line with his age range.
Well, I mean, unless something out of the work happens, right? Because it's the same way I felt about Phoenix. and the old Booker and stuff until they were able to pull off the KD trade. I was like, all right, time to blow this shit up. And then they go get KD, and they got life for the next 2 or 3 years. So like, I don't know. I don't see anything on the horizon immediately that tells me that it's like a quick fix for Milwaukee. But I did want to ask you guys a question. Quick sidebar. Now that we're talking about luxury tax of contracts and all this kind of stuff, just quick thing that we're not going to talk about. How many free agents did the Los Angeles Rams sign this offseason? Does anyone know the answer?
The Rams, not many from what I remember.
Zero.
Yeah.
Zero. Do you know how many draft picks they had?
0?
Probably none.
14.
They had like,
Do you know how
8
many
draft picks.
They had 14 draft picks. Do you know they also signed 23 undrafted players? 23.
Yeah, they gotta fix their shit.
They are in the. This is how you tank. This is the greatest. This is exactly how you're supposed to tank. To me, it's a fucking clinic on how it is. You win your championship, you sell everything for the championship, and they will 100% be in the Caleb Williams fucking sweepstakes next year. It is an amazing job at LA. I give them a ton of fucking credit.
If they can fail upward and get Sean McVay, Caleb Williams, they will have done, in my opinion, one of the best jobs for a GM in NFL history, because that is exactly what they need to do.
It's going to happen. Houston's a better team than LA right now.
Houston has. There was a trade with the Cardinals in Houston, remember?
Yep.
And I guess the Cardinals got Houston's first round pick next year.
I get it, but I just think the Rams are going to be the most losingest team.
Yes.
They're going to be the most losingest team.
Probably the Cardinals.
No, I do not think there is going to be a team that loses more than the Rams this season.
No.
As soon as they trade away DeAndre Hopkins. As soon as they trade away D-Hop, they might be.
Not gonna happen.
No, still not there. No, they still got Hollywood and like a couple other players. Like
you don't even like Hollywood.
No.
No, I like Hollywood I like Hollywood. I just don't think he's a number one. I think he was kind of soft mentally. But I like him. He was going crazy that first 6 weeks when Andre was gone and he got hurt. He's also a brittle boy.
When does Kyler come back?
So like
He'll be ready for the start of the season, I think.
They have Colin Murray. They're going to win games.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Wizards, Javaris Crittenden got out of jail last week.
Okay.
My homegirl, Delonte West tried to holler at my high school friend at 7-Eleven the other day in Alexandria. He's back out there.
Good.
Going back to the Bucks, the past 3 years they had to pay $136 million in luxury tax.
Okay.
And last year was 52.
Okay.
And then this year is going to be substantially more.
Yeah, because you got billionaires who own the team.
They need to trade Drew Holiday. If they're going to do it, this is a good to do it because it's value.
The only thing that I think they really need to do right now is be studying what the fuck the Warriors did to save all that money when they traded away Wiseman.
No, they also need to get rid of Brook Lopez because Brook Lopez is older. He had a great year this past year, great fucking year. However, go ahead and get Miles Turner from Indy because that's your replacement level, like quality starter, possible all-star. He
Lopez
can come in and
like
kind of give you a little bit of.
Yep.
Yes.
Brook Lopez will be. He'll be an unrestricted free agent. So
bye.
Yeah, like there's no
exactly
like this like now. So
yeah,
there's no getting rid of him. He's already gone.
We got one more thing.
Need to make some moves.
We got one more thing before we're out of here.
Brooksy? Yeah, the Dillon Brooks slander.
Slander. I ain't going that far.
Okay.
It's only slander if it's not true.
Right. So, look.
It's only slander if it's not true.
Here's the thing. The only thing that here's what I think I've said on this pod what I think of Dillon Brooks, right? He's a bitch. But I also look at the Memphis Grizzlies and say they all bitches. because the statement, regardless of who did what or whatever when it came to it, is clear. The Grizzlies wanted to make it known that they were casting out Dillon Brooks. They wanted that to be known. They wanted that to be known publicly. The only thing is that this is the dude that you've cultivated and rocked with all the way throughout all his bullshit. And then he finally does more of the same shit that he's always does. Just no one's there to root for you guys anymore after this fucking season. There was even the villains last year and people were rooting for them. I wrote them off last year. I fucking didn't like them. They were too fucking immature and bullshit. I just didn't like it. But he's just being who he was. And now you guys are trying to make him the scapegoat? It's some bitch ass shit. Like, that's all I'm looking at for Memphis. And y'all on some bitch ass shit. Doesn't change the fact that I still think Dillon Brooks is on some bitch ass shit. But Memphis is just, they're just showing they shouldn't separate. They deserve each other. They really do.
I'll say this for the Memphis Grizzlies, right?
It's not slander. It's libel.
They're being cowards because what they're not doing, they're not addressing the actual elephant in the room, which is their fucking superstar.
The elephant in the room is everyone in the goddamn room.
Yeah, that whole team is
the whole team is a fucking dumpster fire. The biggest
problem is Ja Morant, and they're scapegoating Dillon Brooks. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, Dillon Brooks didn't go on TV and say the West is not a problem.
And then put up fucking goose eggs.
Right. And then, but then you also, I get what you're saying.
But Dillon Brooks, no, I'm not gonna let y'all do that. I'm not gonna let y'all do that. Dillon Brooks does this thing where he tries to play Paul Pierce type. He tries to play like I'm more than the 3-and-D guy, but he's not.
Yeah.
He needs to. I love to see him with the Bucks next year. Actually, he needs to go to a team where he's nothing but 3-and-D, and he needs to understand that he's nothing but 3-and-D because he likes to put up fucking shots like he's fucking a guy, but he's not a fucking guy. Nah. He's not a guy. Mm-hmm. He's just 3-and-D. You need 11. I need 11 points per game from you. Stop trying to give me 20. Stop trying to. I don't fucking need your 20. I don't want your fucking 20. Give me 3 threes to make them guard you. Go 3 for 7 from 3, and you're good. And play fucking defense. He talking like Pat Bev, but he playing like Latrell Sprewell and 20.
Pick your year right.
He playing.
Pick the year right. You can't just don't do that to Latrell.
I was gonna say 06, but I didn't want to do him like that. I didn't want to do him like that.
That was pretty good.
Look, but he's talk heavy, but he's not playing up to par.
Like the thing is
that may be true.
It is true. It's completely. Look, it's completely true. The only thing is that the look, it's right. No one wants to play with Dillon Brooks in that fucking Memphis Grizzlies locker room because of what Keem is saying. Like 100%, you can see it as clear as day.
Yep.
There is a way in which you realize, oh, this guy's playing does not line up with what we want to do. Let's trade him. Not let's tank his trade value and talk some shit to try to get a handle on something. Like, what is this? Like, there is a legitimate basketball move to be made here in moving on from Dillon Brooks without tanking the trade value because you let it be known under no circumstances whatsoever is he going to be on our team next year. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah, that was stupid as hell. But what's also stupid is the fact that they're not addressing the whole shit with John.
No. This was last year under contract. There's no trade value to talk about. This was under contract. I think if he had turned in a better like postseason, they would have shut the fuck up and traded him in the offseason. But they said, "Oh, bitch, you played like shit, and we don't fucking need you. So yeah, you won't be back. We not re-signing you. Ain't no negotiations that's gonna be happening. You're not coming back to us.
If I'm not mistaken,
play for Milwaukee, go play for Miami. They'll love you in Miami, Dillon. But you can't come back here.
If I'm not mistaken, this entire front office is all young guys now. Like they completely revamped Memphis's front office like a few years ago. This is the most immature team from top to bottom in the league, and there is no close second.
They need vets. They need
Jesus.
They need real vets.
Jesus wants nothing to do with that, bro.
Oof. And Ja's new contract starts next year.
Good. Superstar.
33 and a half, 36, 38, 41, 44. And then he'll get another contract when he hits 29.
Smart
Crazy.
financial moves.
Yeah.
What was that series? How many games did they win in that series?
What?
They won 2 games.
Yep, wasn't enough. I'd say if they swept, maybe it changes something.
Yeah, we were saying that before the series.
Yep.
All right.
All right. So, final thoughts. I'll go first. First, RIP to Nick Gilbert. Dan Gilbert's son passed away with a chronic illness. I think that's what they called it. And I guess we'll save the whole Messi being suspended by PSG for some bullshit that they made up at the last second when they fucking had him cancel his trip 3 or 4 fucking times. And he's been the fucking ambassador to Saudi Arabia since fucking 2012. When you see the picture of him being scared of shit that the gun's pointed at his head, that's on his ambassadorship trip to Saudi Arabia. But PSG haven't won shit, ain't gonna win shit in the future because of shit like this. So it is what it is. And the fucking PSG fans that are chanting Messi and Neymar to get out the fucking club. All right, cool. Yeah, I would have won some shit if Mbappe would have put in the fucking goals that when they had the good ass assist that he kept fucking missing and skying over the fucking net. So when they gone, have fun with Mbappe. And then, and they mad at Verratti too. Their best fucking midfielder in the past 10, 15 years. But whatever.
I'm glad you're able to talk about the thing you said we weren't going to talk about. Thank
you.
I know. I'm going to...
That shit just pissed me off. I was like, I'm watching this video. I was like, they're fucking stupid. Like, you haven't won shit.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You've never won shit.
It shouldn't sound conversational. It's not a back and forth. I'm going to spend my final thoughts, as I do almost every week. Succession. So last week was an episode that a lot of people were telling me that they didn't love as much as they loved other episodes this season. And I think that they're fucking stupid.
Let me know when I can come back.
All right, good.
I still haven't watched it either, so.
Are you going to?
Yes.
All right, mute yourself. I don't know. Earmuffs. I don't give a fuck. I'll clap my hands when I'm done. Look. Sometimes you need to set the fucking chessboard, which is what this episode was to a certain degree. But you cannot tell me across all lines that it wasn't fucking spectacular. The entire cringe fest that was expecting and realizing and knowing that Kendall was going to fuck that thing up, and he didn't, still blows my goddamn mind. Beyond that, the whole Waystar LA, I know that I wanted to see that like fucking crazy. And everything we've seen over the last few years with a lot of these studio heads going out, leaving under all these different kind of circumstances, was awesome to see the interaction between Roman and Joy. It was fucking dope. The show is incredible. Look, I know that Keem, you said that it was top 5. I know that going into this year, I thought that it was
top 2.
No, I think it's creeping on the top 3 now, which is nuts to me. I also, another sidebar, I started Snowfall, and I am now halfway through season 1. And it's a fun ride so far. I've been struggling to put it away. I'll probably watch Succession tonight, and then I'm going to finish season 1. And then I'll probably go see Guardians of the Galaxy tomorrow.
Is it safe?
Okay. So before Ryan starts, I'll just go ahead and go. One of the reasons I was late was because I was watching Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So no spoilers. This won't be a spoiler. But I thought it was good. But I think I've also reached a point where I don't need to see any more Marvel movies in theaters. Whether it's IMAX or 3D, whatever. I think until they give me until maybe the next Avengers movie or maybe even Fantastic Four, maybe Blade. I'll see Blade in theaters, but I'm very much far and away. I can wait till it hits Disney Plus now. And I thought Guardians was good. A lot of people have gotten, in my opinion, ahead of themselves. I've seen people say Guardians is the best MCU trilogy ever, and that's fucking disrespect to fucking Captain America. It's really fucking disrespectful. It's really fucking disrespectful because fucking Winter Soldier and fucking Civil War are 2 of the best 6 Marvel movies, period.
first one's bad,
And so they need to calm the fuck down with saying shit like that. It's not even fucking close. Guardians is good. Guardians is the first one is this is really good. The second one is this is solid. The third one is this is good. Captain America is the first one is shit. The second one is oh my fucking god, this might be the best Marvel movie I've ever seen. The third one is oh my fucking god, this might be the best Marvel movie I've ever seen. And so, with that said, do not disrespect Captain America's trilogy ever again. It's not close. Guardians, your second or third or whatever.
Was this the best one out of it?
That's what that is. Also,
do you think, because you remember when we did our Marvel rankings, our MCU rankings, Guardians was my number one MCU movie. Is this better than the first Guardians?
In my opinion, the first one is still the best one. However, I'm sure there'll be some people who say the third one is better. I just don't see it. I really don't see it. I don't think it's that close, to be honest. I say like Guardians 1 for me is top. You know, I ranked it high too, not as high as you, but I ranked it high. It's top. Guardians 1 is top 7, top 8. Guardians 3 is top 15. You know, it's in there somewhere, but it's not top 10 for me. I'm pretty confident in that. But my second point was going to be, so similar to KDot, I started Peaky Blinders. So I'm finishing up season 1 of Peaky Blinders. It's been good so far. I love Cillian Murphy, man. Excited to see what they do with it. And so it's a good show. Probably not a great show yet. I'm gonna see if it gets better, but I'm a fan. I like it so far. I'm into it. Excited about whatever they go with it. And I'll probably finish it within the next 2 weeks. So
God damn.
There's that.
Okay. I was gonna do Better Call Saul after Snowfall because I'm in Snowfall, but I remembered about another show that I'm going to do before I do Saul, which is one that has been recommended to me so much. I don't know if you've seen it. Top Boy.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Top Boy.
Yes, that's a perfect show to follow up Snowfall with.
That is the
perfect show to follow up Snowfall with, because some would argue that Top Boy is better, but I don't think it is. It doesn't reach the heights, but it's good.
Okay.
He talks in Top Boy language like on Twitter once a week. I see it.
Bro.
Yeah. Hey, bro. Yeah.
Where's the food, bro?
If I watch enough Guy Ritchie movies in a day, which I do. I go on Guy Ritchie marathons every once in a while. I do my Lock, Stock, and Snatch, and then Gentlemen.
No, I've seen Top Boy. That's a good show. I just forgot. That shit is old as hell.
Well, no. So you know that the older series came back and brought it back.
Yeah.
Well, there's a new one.
Newer. Drake brought it back.
Yeah. So the first, they had 2 series. I think it was like BBC pause. So just 8 episodes from the original series, and then Drake brought it back, and they've had 2 10-episode seasons so far, and they're gonna have the final season airs in August. So it's 3. So it'll finish with like a total of like 38 episodes. So it's not a lot. It's not a hard watch at all.
Oh, it's the same cast? It is.
Yeah. Well, no. When Drake brought it back, he changed a few people, but the main guys like Sully and Deshane were the same.
Oh, damn. All right,
Ryan, you got a final thought?
Yeah, first off, I'm cool with only watching stuff when it comes to Disney Plus. Because fuck you for making 3-hour movies like I don't got to pee like 2 hours and 8 minutes in when like the climax is about to start. You fucking pieces of shit.
I have a website for that. There's a website. I think it's called When Should I Pee? It tells you when in the movie you should get up and go pee.
Yeah, let me tell my internal organs, hey, can you please wait until 1 hour and 36 minutes? It doesn't work like that.
You don't have to pee like that. Like I can hold my pee for 3 hours.
I drink a gallon of water a day.
I do too. I just don't.
If I've been drinking, I would do.
If I'm drinking beer, I need to pee. But it's cold outside.
I will be. I do. 2, the Mets are a disaster. Blow it all up. Sell the team. You can't spend $400 million and then lose every single series. It's just a disaster.
Scherzer's look bad since coming back too, hasn't he?
I mean, he only had the one outing.
There you go. Fucking Mets, dumpster fire, ruining everything. Fucking assholes.
Worse record than the Nats.
Yeah, all right, boys. I know. Also, James, that fucking tweet was completely unnecessary. Fuck you. All right,
Which one?
The one you just texted. Didn't need to see it. All right.
Nah, I was gonna say that for a reason. Keem, can you name the 6 QBs that y'all have started? Because that surprised me in the last 5 years. I know Snoop.
The Ravens?
Yeah.
Lamar, Snoop, Flacco. What's that fucking guy's? Ryan Leaf? Not Ryan Leaf. Fucking the guy from the Patriots. He's fucking his name is fucking Ryan something. I can't fucking remember his name. Fuck. Let me see. Who else have we started? That's crazy.
That's what I was thinking. I was like,
because the Flacco
injuries.
When Flacco was hurt, Ryan Mallett. When Flacco was hurt.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, when Flacco was hurt, we had to go through a couple. Yeah, I probably can't. No.
12.
Well, all right.
12.
Russ, I know it was Carr, the rookie dude we had last year, and probably somebody's random. I don't know. Ryan, do you know yours? Y'all had 3 too.
The last 6 years?
5. Josh Allen. Wait, no, this don't count for you.
Wasn't Fitzy in there?
Yeah, Fitzy's in.
Wasn't Ryan Fitzpatrick before he went to
maybe
Florida, and then Tyrod, right?
Yes.
I can name all 12, but we ain't got time for that. So
yep.
You sure?
I gotta go to
you
work.
You do like the Sonics commercial?
Right.
You name one and be like, I guess
Ryan, if you want to leave, I can name the 12, but we just probably won't make the pod. I can just do it. All right, bye everybody.
Love y'all.